Hey guys, we're back. Welcome back.
How's it going?
It's been a while.
A little.
Welcome to the RC Lawn Chair Pilots podcast. In case you've forgotten, I'm Derek.
I'm Steven.
And yeah, rolling. All right.
All right. Well, how's everybody been? It's been, what, 9, 10? I don't know. How long has it been since we last recorded? A while.
I don't know. I've forgotten. Like, life has happened
so much.
to the fullest.
Yes.
Like, nothing terrible, so that's been good.
Yeah.
But just so much of it.
Oh, yeah. So very much.
Thank you to everyone that has, like, spam listened to our last episode.
Right?
My word.
Thank you. But hopefully we can continue.
All the other episodes as well. But,
Yeah.
like, that last one, geez, you guys like that one for some reason.
Yeah. Well.
Or maybe it was bots in India. Who knows?
Yeah.
Either way,
we'll take
thank
it.
you. Thank you, and welcome back.
Yeah.
We're hoping to be releasing and providing content to you on a
little more regular.
sort of monthly schedule.
Yeah.
Maybe once, maybe twice a month.
Yeah.
We're going to shoot for every 3 weeks.
Yeah, something like that.
But we're not going to hold a strict, like, every 3 weeks on Tuesday sort of thing, because
No.
we have a lot going on.
We do a lot, and we want to get out a lot. So that way we decided to space it out a little bit more so we have more time to get out and create content.
Give you guys something entertaining.
Yeah, and then bring it in and make it nice for you. So hopefully,
hopefully it's entertaining. Like, some of you guys are watching and listening to that, more listening than watching, but still, some of you seem to enjoy this to some extent.
Yeah, so we thank you.
Cheers.
Very much. Where did I put my water?
I put it on the other side of that toolbox.
Oh, that was weird.
Well, it was on top of the audio interface.
Well, it doesn't leak.
Yeah, but knowing my luck. So,
where do we want to start?
Let's start with just updates of what's been going on.
Okay.
So what's been going on just in life in general and in
the RC world that
we
live in a little bit? Okay.
Yeah. So like what? Yeah,
well,
go ahead. I'll stop yammering.
Yeah, well, I'm about to start yammering. So it's like Derek said, it's been crazy. Just trying to get out and be outside of the world. I had some medical issues, nothing life-threatening, but painful.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
It's fine. We're good. We're good.
Good.
We've cleared that all up.
Really?
As far as I know, it's done.
Knocking on wood. That's awesome.
Yeah, assuming I don't. Anyway, we're good there.
That's good.
But and then children are actually starting to do well in school, and so that's hopefully going to continue to trend that path.
Nice.
Because there was a problem there, my oldest, and then
typical high school.
Yeah, and then have to visit your aging mother because you're trying to be a good son, and
How
so
dare you.
I know, and just life in general. And I did get out and drive a little with my Haas my Traxxas Haas.
Let's clarify that. He got out and broke a lot.
Oh, no. Well, I drove it a lot before it broke.
Okay.
And I have fixed it numerous times also. But, that means I was out having fun with it.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And we'll talk about that in greater detail a little bit. But, yeah, so that's, as vague as I possibly could be, but, life in general, that's... but yeah, I've gotten to know the inside and the outside of my Haas Traxxas.
That's good, 'cause
very well.
You need to, because otherwise you're in trouble.
Yeah, because I'm not going to buy a new one every time it breaks.
No, but it's surprisingly satisfying to work on that small of a car.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like working
I've
on a
enjoyed
full-size car is a kind of a hassle and a pain because that inconveniences your life.
But when I work on a car that I don't depend on for life-giving things,
it's super fun.
Yeah, it makes it a lot nicer.
It's the same thing with my HPI Savage. Like when I was working on it, so much fun. Working on my real car, such a pain.
Well, I don't even mind working. Well, when I had a car,
it depends
I could work
on what it is.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's just like you said, because you have to have it running when you finish.
Yeah.
Where my Traxxas,
it
right now is up on stand still.
Yeah, it can take 3 weeks, and it's fine.
I'm not, because I need parts that weren't available to purchase when I bought some upgrades, which I'll talk about later. So how about you? What's been going on with you?
Oh, my word. So we finished our D&D podcast.
Oh, yeah,
that
I forgot to mention that.
So that took up quite a bit of time, making sure we wrapped that up cleanly. Aside from that, I'm in the process of starting my own digital marketing business, which I've told you about.
Yep.
And that's still getting up and running, but that's taking up an hour or so a day after my regular day job, because I'm still doing that. And then just life with family. I've got 3 kids, so they take up lots of time, and I have a loving wife, so I want to make sure she gets my time too. So that's been...
That's overrated. Just kidding. It's not.
She didn't overhear that. Otherwise, she might have come in here and smacked him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just that has taken up most of my evenings, and I've recently switched my schedule so that rather than working on my new business after the kids are in bed, I'm working on it right when I get home from work for a short, dedicated period of time, and then I go back to my kids. That's opened up my evenings to spend more time with my wife and spend more time working on planes, which is why we got out and flew last week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, technically you were in the air flying.
It was short.
It was a little less time than I drove my car, though.
Yes. We both broke vehicles that day. We'll get to that in a sec. Yeah. So that has been life for the past several months. So yeah. Oh, and COVID swept through my house. Yeah. It was an inconvenient cold for us, thank goodness. But the worst part is I had to use my PTO.
Yeah, that sucks. Burning that up.
Yeah, it burned my one floating sick day and 32 hours.
Yeah, math is hard.
Math is hard. That's why I use a computer. I'm a good engineer. So yeah, that's been life here. It's been good, but yeah.
Yeah. So then I guess that takes us into where, like, so within that time of we were able to get out and drive and fly and do some repairs, and Derek's got like all kinds of new things that you guys can't see, but
my collection grew by 1.
Can they see?
No.
Nope, they can't see that.
No.
Oh my gosh.
And the only one that it grew by is that one.
That one there? Oh no.
Yeah.
This one's new. It grew that one?
No, so he's pointing at the Rock Hobby glider, the 2-meter V-tail or 2.2 meter V-tail. That I talked about, because I got that came in the huge lot of gliders last summer.
Sorry, you just got it running.
I just got it running
twice now.
Yeah, yeah. The glider that's new,
that one
is that one. I'll grab it here. Hang on, just a sec.
So for those of you who are watching, he just pulled out this 3.5 meter, and the wings are still up.
So this
there.
is just the fuselage.
Yeah.
This is about as much of it I can fit in the frame, which is just the front quarter. But this is the Phoenix Hobbies 3.5 meter KA8B.
It needs some love.
It needs some love. So I got this from a dude in northern Utah. He posted on one of the Utah Facebook groups for RC that he had this glider and he wasn't going to finish it. He had intentions to start working on it, but wasn't going to finish it. And wanted to pass it off to somebody that would. And I'm like, if no one else wants it, I do. So after much delay of him taking forever to get back to me, we got in touch and he gave it to me. And so it's very large, as you can see in the video.
Yeah.
There goes. I don't have the horizontal stabilizer or the wings on it right now because they're hanging up, because it is a adventure putting this thing together. It has 4 servos, so it is. For those listening, I'll describe it a bit. It is a straight wing, ailerons on the last almost half, like the last 40%. It's got slots for spoilers, which he had some in, but he took them out and goobered up the covering while he did that. So I need to fix the covering. He gave me the airframe for free and then sold me the motor he has for it, or had for it, which is a Rimfire .46 product, or with a 800 kV, so monster size motor. He sold that to me for $50, which is a screaming deal. But it has 4 servos, your rudder and elevator servos. It's got 2 servos in the wings. I need to hook up all the control surfaces because like it doesn't have the control horns for any of the tail surfaces.
Oh, really?
And I forget
None of them.
No, I'm missing a lot of parts for this. He gave me the airframe and the motor and everything that he put in them except for the spoilers. The rest, like all the little bits and bobs, like I don't even have the wing rods to join the wings onto the fuselage.
That sounds like an amazing afternoon at the hobby shop.
Actually, no, it's going to be an amazing tomorrow morning at my buddy's house. So I got this glider. It needs a bit of love, but I'm hoping to have it flying by the end of this year.
Nice. It's a good thing it's just February. Well, at the time of recording.
Yeah. Also yesterday, I received in the mail the spoilers I'm going to put in it, which the buddy I'm going to tomorrow, he has this same glider. I'll tell you more about that later. But he uses these Hobby King 220 millimeter spoilers, and I got them on Hobby King for $10 for the set.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's a screaming deal because, like, if you want to get the really, really nice ones from like eSpirit or something, they're like almost $100 for a set. So I got a screaming deal on these. Hopefully they work out well, but they are smaller than the slots in the wing for the spoilers.
So you're gonna have to do some adjustments.
So I need to fit the slot to these, which shouldn't be too big of a deal.
I'm assuming you're gonna right now it's all white with a little bit of red. I'm assuming you're gonna rewrap it.
I will recover the section of the wing that is goobered up from the spoilers.
But you're not gonna rewrap the whole thing?
No.
Why not?
I hope not.
I mean, white flying. You have a lot of white. That seems challenging to see in the air.
It's not too terrible, especially with the red accents this has. It'll be easy enough. But with how big this is, that is a lot of covering. Like one wing would take one roll of covering to recover both wings.
Yeah, but I mean, imagine what you could make it look like. I mean, it doesn't look bad as it is, but
this is a scale glider. Like this is based off of a real plane.
I know, and that's why it's covered the way it's covered. I
Yeah.
get that, but I'm not saying you can't. What I'm saying is you can change it.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
can.
have to match. I mean, yes, part of this is flying model planes. I get it, but it doesn't have to represent it 100%. Like you don't
You're
have
right.
to have the dorky looking guy inside of there.
I can't get him out.
I can get him out.
I
but-
can't get him out without ruining this.
There you go.
So the dorky looking guy stays.
See, I'd be I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's fine. I'm just, you know, I
get
like
your
adding-
monster scale glider and you goober it up the way you want.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
So that is like, since we last spoke, that is the newest edition. It is huge. So tomorrow I've got a buddy, he sold me a high start at 2 years ago at Soar, Utah.
Mm-hmm.
He also has this same glider.
Yeah. Okay.
He's got 2.
He has 2 of them.
Yes, the first one he crashed
I
and
mean,
buggered up the wings.
and he hasn't repaired that.
And he hasn't repaired it. Instead, he has another one that's almost ready for maiden. But the buggered up wings,
Yeah.
he's giving to me
Oh, nice.
because it has all of the hardware for joining the wings to the fuselage that I don't.
And he's just gonna give it to you.
Yeah, he's taking out all the electronics, and it's only the wing tips that are buggered up.
And so you're gonna take all the ends and everything to get them connected to the.
Yeah, so like I'll
fuselage.
have basically a spare set of wings for this thing.
Nice. You'll have to repair those.
Yeah.
But not a big deal.
No, not a big deal. So, but I'll have the joining hardware, which is what I really need. It's
Yeah.
it's 2 little aluminum tabs.
That's it. I
That
mean,
I'm-
you could probably find those from either one of the major hobby stores we have here.
I've looked.
Have you?
Yeah, I can't
Oh.
find them.
I'm
No.
surprised.
So like, but the wing spars or the wing joining rods,
Yeah,
I can
okay.
find those. Those are easy to source. All the screws and threading hardware, that's
Yeah.
easy to source. But these 2 aluminum tabs, I'll provide. You're editing, so
Yeah,
I'll
I
provide
am
you a
editing.
picture to show what these things looks like.
Okay, that'll be.
They're super inconvenient because the instruction they're shown in the instructions. There's no dimensions on any of it, and I don't have them.
Do they have to be aluminum?
They're probably just for the strength of aluminum.
Because I was going to say,
I've thought of if
3D
I could get the measurements, I was going to 3D print them.
yeah, see about 3D printing them once you get some.
Yeah. I was
And
going
then
to look
see.
at 3D printing in PETG.
Yeah.
So I'll be picking that up tomorrow. Those wings up tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And then I need to find a place to put them because I don't have a lot of room left.
Oh,
My wife will be so thrilled.
I'm assuming the airspace above your wife's area is off limits because you pretty much have stayed away from that.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid encroaching on her space more than I already do.
I mean, you have 80% of this room.
Yes, I do.
Maybe 75. But if you take her airspace over, then you would go up over 80%.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
So
I'm
anyway.
trying not to do that. But so that's the plan for tomorrow is to pick up those spare hardware bits and the extra wings and anything else he wants.
You could actually probably hang the wings with the other wings there.
Probably. I just need longer strings.
Yeah, just a little bit longer.
So I'm going to talk to him while I'm there tomorrow and figure out how he fit his spoilers into the slots on the wings, just to make sure that they fit nicely.
Yeah.
Because he says that they're 400 millimeter slots.
Okay. But
Almost 4. But these are 220 millimeter.
Yeah, so half of it.
Yeah, they're about half. And he says that the Hobby King spoilers are scale to the plane.
So this is the 400 plus is too big.
I guess, yeah. So, but he says that the Hobby King ones work beautifully.
Oh, okay.
They're super
well, that's all
effective.
you need then,
Exactly.
right? I mean, you don't, as long as it's doing the job. I mean, yes, if you want to stay to the model side of it, then you want to try to get everything to scale.
Yeah.
But if you're just out flying and you want it to fly correctly, it doesn't have to match model.
Yeah, I don't need it to be perfectly scale.
Yeah.
This will be great. So I'll be picking that up tomorrow and talking to him about how he fit, because they're like not only are they short, they're also depth-wise short and thickness-wise short. They're
Oh, wow. So they're thinner, they're shallower, and they're shorter.
Yes, there you go. Good description.
See
Very
how I
nice.
got that for you?
Very nice.
I got you back, man.
Thank you. So I'll be talking to him about that tomorrow, about how those fit in nicely.
You probably just need to shim it a little bit, but
Yeah.
you can't add. You don't want to add too much weight, so it's
I'll
got to
just be using balsa stock,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's not
super.
gonna be a big deal.
That's not weight.
And I'll just tack it in with a couple small pieces of glue,
Yeah,
small drops of glue, because if I end up getting bigger spoilers,
you may want
I want to be able to
pull
it
and
out
put
cleanly.
It in. Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's the plan there, and I'll just need to recover that section. That's
Yeah.
going to be painful.
That's good. I mean, that's going to be fun to work
Yeah.
on. I know you enjoy building out the balsa stuff.
That'll be a long build.
I'm terribly afraid of building out that stuff. That's kind of why I went to cars instead of planes.
I get that.
I don't have to. Plus, 9 times out of 10, when I crash my car, it doesn't cost me anything to flip it over and drive it some more.
Yeah.
Where 9 times out of 10, when I crashed my plane,
It broke something.
I couldn't fly it anymore
Yeah,
until I
that
fixed
ended
something.
your day. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I need to be a better pilot too.
Yeah. Do we want to go into some of the work that we've done on these things, or do we want to go into our last adventure, our last outing? Because this is a perfect transition to our last outing.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do our last outing. So you tell about your side of the outing.
Okay,
'Cause
so
you brought your truck.
yeah, I took my Haas 4x4.
So we
out.
there are a couple parks near us, real quick.
Yeah.
That we can have access to. One is just literally right across the street. It's a huge water drainage park for when the sewers flood here. During
When
big
it's just
rainstorms?
too much rain.
Yeah,
But
when
not
the sewers flood.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. So it's great for boats when that happens. But it's just huge and open. It's 500 by 600 feet. They do football and soccer practice there in the summer.
It could almost be 4 baseball diamonds, but there's only 2 on there.
Yeah.
So that's
So
for those of you who know that math.
Yeah, that's one of our places we fly at. The other one is just up the street. There's a couple water towers for the city on top of a hill. And there's a huge open field right next to them that they just let everyone has access to.
Yeah.
And that's where we went.
Yeah.
And that one's like 400 by 700 feet.
Yeah. And it's actually really great for flying.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's got not drop-offs, but slants
it's got
down.
small slopes.
And you can actually get a little bit, depending on if the wind's coming off the right way, you can get a little lift off those slopes.
We did some DLG flying there last summer.
Yeah.
Or last spring.
Yeah, it was a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
it was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
Because it was before I crashed my DLG at Soar, Utah.
Yes.
That was sad.
So
Carry
my
on.
Haas, I'd been driving it. I said I was going down. I was visiting my mom. She lives in a city called Hurricane. It's just 45 minutes from St. George in Utah.
If you don't live in Utah, it's pronounced hurricane.
It's Hurricane. And I've been driving down there. Where they live, there's been some places, and I just found out this last trip that they have a bike
A BMX track?
track. Yeah.
Ooh.
You're going to put that back up?
I'm going to put it behind us.
Okay. And, but by time I found this out,
You had already broken it?
my gear had fallen off. Or oh, God, now I got to.
Your transmission gear thing?
It was my Pinion Gear. I brought those to kind of talk about them.
It's a critical gear.
Yeah, my Pinion Gear, which is the gear that sits right on your motor that goes to your
Your
drive
big
shaft.
flywheel.
Yeah. And I didn't really break it. For you on the video, the important thing here to note is this.
Is it the little screw? The little set screw in there?
Yeah. So, and then you'll notice. Well, you may not notice, but when it came off the second time, the first time I'm not sure how it broke loose. I was doing lots of jumps, lots of flips, having a grand old time.
Oh,
and 90% of the time I was landing on my feet, on my wheels.
Yeah.
I'm actually starting to get pretty good at driving the thing.
Nice.
But, so it came off. So I put it back in.
Looking at the rubbings, it slid down the shaft. And
That was when it came off the second time.
Oh, okay.
It did that. First time it came clean, the screw came off. I put the screw back in. Thought I put it in tight enough, but I didn't. I had some glue that I could have touched it in, but I didn't have any Loctite.
Yeah, Loctite's what you want.
It is. But the glue would have been just as good. I thought I had got it tight enough. I apparently had not. Or something else happened. When it happened, it was a hard front end hit. Like I hit on my nose hard. And I think it just wasn't tight enough. Anyway, so I figured out what happened. I had to take the whole front end off because I'd never taken it apart. Come to find out, there's only 3 screws you have to take off. But I didn't do that. I took it all apart and found out what was wrong with it. Ordered my parts, got them a couple days later. I actually ordered 3 different
Sizes.
different sizes. I ordered the original, which was a 14 pin. I ordered an 11 pin and tooth and an 18 tooth. So the 11 tooth gives me more torque, a little slower, but I could do a little more rock crawling with it. The 14 stays the same because that's what was in there, and the 18 gives me a lot more speed.
Yeah.
I put the 11 in and got it all cleaned up a little bit and went to the park with Derek because he had just gotten a plane ready.
Yes.
And so I'm out driving it around. He's got his boys who got their rock crawlers out, and so we're just kind of driving around. Just nice and easy, a little bit here and there, doing some grass drifting. Not much. Just seeing it was amazing on how different it was from the 11 to the 14. There was a huge performance difference.
Oh, yeah.
On like speed and everything. Like getting it to pop a wheelie with the 11 was really, I actually had to try to pop the wheelie. Where with the 14, I just punch, just give it gas and the front wheel comes up.
Oh, yeah.
So
Really? You didn't see easier wheelies on the 11?
No, it was harder because the initial
Weird.
kick is slower. It's
Huh.
got more torque.
Interesting.
Because it can offer more power to the wheels,
Yeah.
but not more thrust, if that's the right word.
Interesting.
So I can climb better up steeper,
Oh, yeah.
but I can't necessarily pop the wheelies is easy. I can still pop the wheelies. But,
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just cruising around. Derek finally gets his stuff ready, and he goes out and flies. Then his stuff happens, and on our way to see his
Retrieve
stuff,
my plane.
we're coming back, and I'm jumping and doing some sliding, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I didn't crash it. I didn't do anything. Because I rolled it, but then I had drove it.
Yeah.
And then I had stopped, and then I started driving it again, and I hear this, and it sounded just like it sounded when my pinion gear had come off. I was like, what? I know it's not coming off this time. And Derek was right next to it, and he's like, oh, yeah, your rear drive shaft is broken. So
Yeah, it's little too much torque.
yeah, little too much. So this is, for those of you on the video, this is actually the front drive shaft. I will blow it up a little bit for you. And the front drive shaft is slightly different than the rear drive shaft. I've replaced my front drive shaft several times.
You think you'd learn?
No, it's I mean, I knew I was going to have to because I go out and bash a lot.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest difference is this piece right on the tip of it on the front has an extra, what would you say, that 3 millimeters, 4 millimeter
Something like that.
piece. And then the rear doesn't have that, but the metal piece for where it connects to the wheel is the same length. So they're not interchangeable.
No.
But I had replaced the front drive shaft several times.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
But it was the rear drive shaft this time.
Yeah.
And I have replacement front drive shafts. So I went to the hobby store. I mean, it was like 30 minutes after we got done.
Yeah.
And we were only there, well, I was only there for maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I drive over.
Park?
Yeah, at the park. Yeah, I was only at the park for like 30 minutes. I go over to the hobby store. They only have replacement fronts, but I got the upgrade steel front drive shafts. They are in my car now. I replaced them today, and this was last week.
This was last week.
Last weekend, and so I replaced them today, and I had hoped that I had purchased front and rear last time I purchased some because I thought I purchased 2 and 2. But apparently I had purchased 3 of the front and only 1 rear.
Oh.
And I'd already replaced the rear once, but I've replaced the front twice.
Yeah.
And so right now I have my rear tires off. Well, one of my rear tires off. And tomorrow morning I will be going to the hobby store because they didn't have the rear drive shaft. They're expecting to have it, so I'm going to go see if they have them. If they don't have the steel replacements, I'm going to get me just the plastic replacements and then have them special order a steel one for me so I can then fix that. Because as I do a lot of hard driving, I have a lot of fun with my car. I'm eventually going to probably upgrade most everything to either steel or aluminum on this thing because I get out and bash it a lot.
It's just more durable.
Yeah. And I have so much fun with it. I already have a new set of tires. I haven't put them on yet. I'm waiting for my front tires to wear out completely. They're close enough that I should change them, but I'm not yet.
Nice.
I will replace them shortly, and I'm going to do 2 at a time, so we'll see how that does. Being 4-wheel drive, it should be okay.
Yeah. All right,
But
nice.
yeah, so that was my outing.
That was his half.
And we had fun. Oh, and I'll finish off with your boys because they got to rock crawl for a little bit, but then we had an incident with one of those also.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that because
So-
I've got that whole deal.
Talk about what you got to do.
So I've been fixing up the Rock Hobby 2.2 meter V-tail.
It's a good looking plane.
It
foam
is a
plane.
good looking plane. It's EPO foam. It's been discontinued for a couple years now.
Reminds me a lot of the Radeon.
Yeah, your Radian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yep.
So it has, like the name suggests, it's a V-tail. And then the wings, it has flaps and ailerons. So really nice flying plane, lots of options. And it's powered by, it's a powered motor. I don't know what the motor is because I can't see it because there's foam in the way. But if one day I will salvage this thing or scrap this thing for parts, and then I'll know what motor's inside of it.
Yep.
And the motor will go on something else. So I took the last 2 weeks to really get this thing set up, and this is the first plane I've flown on my Tandem X20 from Free Sky, and that's super cool. So
Is
I
it
have
really though.
the radio.
I mean, it's cool, but is it cool?
Oh, it's so
because
cool.
you don't know what actually happened yet.
I have an idea of what happened. So I'm flying with the Archer R6 on the Access protocol, and I have connected to the smart port on it the Free Sky LiPo voltage sensor mini. So I plug that into the balance port of my radio, and it sends me the telemetry of my battery, so I can keep track of individual cell voltages as well as total cell voltage.
That's very cool.
Which is nice because I set it up so that when the total pack voltage gets down to I think 3.6 or 3.7, it gives me an alarm.
What size of battery goes in this one?
A 3S.
A 3S.
So, and that's another weird part. So, it's powered. I don't know what the motor is. It's powered by a 35 amp ESC with an XT60 connector. The instructions recommend using a 2100 milliamp 3S, which basically a 2200 milliamp 3S. And it's got a strap in here to strap it down right behind the motor.
That seems too heavy.
It is. I tried that. It is all kinds of nose heavy.
Yeah.
Super. I'd have to put a lot of weight in the tail.
Yeah. Like a
a
roll
lot.
of pennies.
Yeah, exactly. Which is super
Maybe a roll of nickels even.
Yeah. Well, now if you follow my Instagram, RCLCP_Derek, you've seen that I have these little aluminum tabs from work that weigh 10 grams each. I glued 3 of them together for a 30-gram weight.
That's convenient.
Yeah. I dropped that in the front of it with the battery that I ended up choosing, and it balances out perfectly. Dead on.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but what I ended up doing is, if you in the video, if you look under the hatch, you can see where the ESC sits, and you can see the black strap where the battery goes. I ended up having to use a 1000 milliamp 3S and tucking it back here, almost to where the wing is supposed to be. It was
wow, that far back,
just in front of the leading edge of the wing. It has to be really far back to balance this thing out. And I put it that far back, and then I put those 30 grams under the ESC and strapped those two down with the battery strap.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then that balanced it, though.
That balances it perfectly. Super inconvenient.
Yeah.
So I got that all set up. Everything was looking great. I get out to the field. After driving around a bit, I get myself ready. And if you've seen my video that I put on my YouTube and my Instagram, you know what happens. I've never flown a powered glider. So I wasn't all I've witnessed is the Radian that Steven has, and that thing flew weird for some reason.
No, I flew it weird.
Still,
it flies wonderfully once you learn how to fly it.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure what to expect, but I've watched videos and seen how this thing's supposed to fly, and it's supposed to fly beautifully. So what I put on half flaps because I set it up for half and full flaps and stuff, and set up my expos and my triple rates because my radio can do triple rates.
Wow.
I set it on middle rates with half flaps. I gave it a little more than half throttle, and I just gave it a light toss and immediately took off.
Yeah.
And started climbing right out of my hand. It was great. Flew beautifully.
It was a beautiful thing to watch.
My word, I'm excited for flying this again in a better place. So I get it up and I'm flying out, and I feel like my controls are not responding the way I want, so I flip to high rates. No, I was on low rates, so I flip to medium rates, and I start guiding it around, and I hear my radio telling me telemetry lost, telemetry lost, telemetry recovered, telemetry lost. So I flip it up to high rates, and I keep going, and it stops for a minute, or it stops telling me that for a bit, so I keep going. And then it gets out there, and it says telemetry lost, and then it regains signal. I cut the power to the motor because I have a motor kill switch set up on my radio so that no matter what I do with the throttle, the motor's turned off, which is a great safety feature and nice for a powered glider. So I kill my throttle, and I decide to try and glide it back to us. And the entire way back, it's fluttering in and out of telemetry lost, telemetry lost. And finally, it does a loop over the hill and flies itself behind a tree and crashes into the sagebrush.
And that, just before the loop, if you've watched his video, is about the time you hear him say, "I have no control."
Yeah, no, it got to the point where like I'm wiggling the sticks all over, and it's not responding to me at all.
Nope.
I had no control of this thing. And what, thankfully, upon inspecting the crash, all that happened was one of the tail pieces broke out.
Yeah.
I disassembled it actually last night and got it all glued back together with about a hot glue. It actually broke really cleanly and was super easy to fix. Like, it was a half-hour fix.
That's nice.
Yeah. All the pictures and stuff of it are up on my Instagram. So I just need to double check the wings. I think they're still okay.
They didn't look like they had any damage to them. So.
Yeah, no, I don't think they hit hard. They may have just been scraped.
Yeah. Fortunately, there was a lot of sagebrush that softened the landing.
Surprisingly. I thought it cartwheeled. But, yeah.
It may have, but if it did it in sagebrush and not on the ground.
Yeah, so it survived. Like, I expected to be scrapping the plane this week rather than being able to fly it again.
But instead, you're going to be able to go fly it.
Exactly. So now to discuss what I think may have happened.
This is good, though, because we discussed this at the park with, for a few minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so on Free Sky receivers, you can't really see it here in the video, but they have two antennas coming out the back.
Yep.
The idea behind this is signal diversity.
Yes.
So that no matter what orientation your plane is in, you can get signal from them. Now, to be able to do that, you need to have the tail of these antenna, and they're like 5-6 inches long with 2 inches, an inch and a half exposed at the end.
Yep.
And that's the signal part. You need them to be at some form of 90 degrees to each other.
Yes.
I did not have that. I had them straight in line with each other in the middle of the fuselage. So what I need to do for next time is poke some holes in the side of the fuselage and feed them out through there. That way, no matter what orientation I'm in, I get some kind of signal.
Yeah.
What I also want to do is I have, like, the antennas on the Tandem X20 are internal. The 2.5 gigahertz is around the screen, and the 900 megahertz is in the handle.
Oh, okay.
But they also have spots where you can thread on external antennas.
You're thinking...
And I have the external antennas for both signal frequencies. So I'm going to put on, next time I fly this, just to be sure I have clean signal, I'm going to put on my 2.4 or 2.5 gigahertz antenna. Mm-hmm. I'm going to switch it over so that it uses that one, because I can choose which antenna I use.
Yeah.
And then the other issue, and then I'm going to, of course, make sure that the receiver antennas are pointed at 90 degrees to each other.
Yeah.
And then the other issue, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that will give you the best results.
Yes.
But that other stuff is going to be nice also.
Yeah, I think that is the biggest culprit to why I was having telemetry issues.
Yeah.
There's no carbon fiber in here, so I don't think there was interference there. I think it was just having them straight down the fuse next to a bunch of wires created interference that way.
Admittedly, that park where we were at, there is a lot of noise. Antenna, or there. Let me rephrase that. There can be a lot of antenna noise at that place. Usually, we walk out about 100 feet, 200 feet, or so.
Usually, we're at the other end.
Yeah.
So we're like
600 feet from
right next to where we parked, and just like 100 feet behind us are two huge cell towers.
Yes.
And I think that played a small part.
It may have. It may not have.
You're right. Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
And that's why I think honestly your antenna position played the biggest part.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I know the first time I took my Radeon out, I did not have them split, and I had some. The first time I had some issues. After I got it to the ground, because it gets to the ground eventually.
Oh yeah,
always.
Oh yeah.
I split it, and I never had a receiver problem.
Yeah.
Never.
So I think that's the biggest issue. And again, I think just the cell tower right next to me, like literally on top of me. I think that played a small part.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of metal and a lot of frequency noise potential where this is at, because there's
There's
water
all the water
towers.
towers.
There's a lot of electricity, a lot of electronics.
Well, isn't there an underground tank
that we're standing on?
That we're standing on?
Yes. Yeah.
So
I think you would have seen less problem if we'd walked out 50, maybe 100 feet from where we were at.
yeah, if we had gone to the
And
middle of the park, yeah,
I think you would have almost seen no issue if you had just
fixed
put
my
those
antenna.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh no, I completely agree. Now, and the reason why I think the cell towers only played a small part is because with my previous radio, the X9D Special Edition,
Yeah.
the 2019 version, that had a spectrum analyzer built into it, so I could see what kind
How
of
much
signal
noise? Yeah.
And that's what I flew the DLG on at that park.
Yeah.
But that's when we were at the north end of the park, away from the cell towers. And there was a decent amount of noise, but I think that was just noise in general across the entire bandwidth.
Yeah.
Now, there weren't any huge spikes that caused issues.
No.
Now, the other park across the street, it does have cell towers, one at the elementary school and one at one end and one at the church at the other end.
Yeah.
But they're pretty far spread out, and you can fly kind of in between the two, and I haven't had an issue flying there.
I only have an issue when I take my drone out there, when I go, or my quad, or when I go close to the elementary school.
Yeah.
There is, because that's right where the other cell tower is,
Yeah.
and there is a ton of noise over by that elementary school.
Yeah.
I
want to know who owns these different towers.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But so I stay in the bulk of that park when I fly.
Yeah.
And radio signal, and it's a big enough park for small. This plane you could fly there.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
Easy. But that plane you could not fly there.
No, the
You couldn't even fly that at the water tower park.
no, the K8B, that's going to have to be taken out to the
Where's the one where you ran into the tree on this guy?
Oh, on the Spirit, that was
Because you could probably fly there.
that was Lodestone Park. No, I
Is
would.
it one too small too?
That's too small. It was too small for the Spirit. I also didn't have the Spirit up very high.
Yeah.
No, so the K8B, that is going to have to go out to Grantsville to the
the RC.
So there's an RC club, not the RC club, but the Intermountain Silent Flyers, the glider club here.
Yeah.
They have a couple places they fly. One is at a park out in Draper, one is at the point of the mountain, and then one where they do the arrow tows is out at the salt flats near Grantsville.
You could take this to the point.
I could, yeah. And I plan to at some point.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll take my truck.
That'll be terrifying. So yeah, that's where I plan on playing that. But yeah, the next time I take out the rock hobby, that's going to be done at the park across the street.
I think that's a good idea. Plus,
Oh no.
is your motor loose?
No, I don't think my motor's loosed. I think the shaft is bent because
I can see
watch
it.
the tip.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, I need to do more work on the rock hobby.
It may not be ready to fly like you thought, because I could see it. You can see it wobble, but
That's a problem.
a good thing you only need that for takeoffs. This isn't the time to fix that, though. But
I'm just looking. Yeah.
yeah. No, I saw it too.
I think it's the prop shaft. That's gonna suck.
Okay. We just
All
got
right,
good news, everybody.
I'll report back on that later because I can't fly it like that. It's rubbing a lot, and it's going to be unbalanced.
Yeah.
That's annoying. All right, so there's that update.
Yeah. Finish with your boys rock crawling.
Okay, so the boys, I've got the
Because
two
we did do a little bit of
we
rock
did.
crawling.
Yep, and the boys had a blast.
Yes.
We've got the two SCX-24s. I've got the yellow Jeep Gladiator and the red Deadbolt.
Which we've talked about
Oh,
both,
yeah.
and we've showed them.
Yeah.
They're great. Oh, they're so
yeah.
much fun. So much show and tell today.
So I found out that so after driving there, like I thought we stopped because I thought the battery died on the red one.
Yeah.
Turns out it didn't, because we got home and I put a new battery in both of them and tried to drive them, and the red one like moved for like 2 seconds and then stopped, and the yellow one feels like it's losing a ton of power. Turns out the motors are dying, which is pretty good considering how long I've had them and how much I've driven them, because a lot of people say that the stock motors burn out in like 10 minutes.
Which is really sad.
Yeah, it is. So, of course, I went to I went to Canyon Hobbies in Draper.
Okay. Do they have a lot of
Sandy.
They have a lot of rock crawler stuff there? Or you just picked that one?
Well, they have a lot of, like, their main focus is cars.
Oh, okay.
In their shop, they have a 24 scale course.
Do they really?
For crawling, yeah. I want to take my boys there sometime.
Yeah.
But I went and I picked up 2 new stock motors. Who knows how long they'll last? But they were $7 each. So
even if they only last a couple months,
it's fine.
It's fun. I mean, that's great.
And then I can upgrade to a higher torque or a more aftermarket motor, because there's a ton out there.
Yeah.
Like, people mod the snot out of these little buggers.
Oh yeah. I mean, because the price is right. They're super fun.
Oh yeah.
And like.
Well, like
you can just go crazy with them.
Oh, yeah. Well, so you can buy brass wheel weights, you can buy brass differential covers, and all sorts of, like, upgraded shocks and wheels.
I would think brass would be too soft, but you're not.
Well, so
you're not hitting hard.
No. And the idea behind it is you want weight.
Yeah.
So that you can keep yourself tighter to the ground.
And your center of balance is closer to the ground instead of higher up.
Exactly.
So if you change everything below the chassis to brass, all of a sudden your center of gravity is only half an inch off the ground.
Yeah. Now, the key with doing that is you need to then upgrade your motor and your ESC.
Because you just made it heavier, so you have to get more power.
And you eventually need to replace the steering servo.
Oh, because too much stress on it, moving it back and forth.
I guess, yeah.
I can see that.
But we're going to since they're mainly for my boys and I drive them on the rare occasion, we're just going to stick with stock stuff for now. Maybe one day I'll upgrade them a little bit more. But
maybe when your boys get old enough and they want to start modding them.
Well, they can buy their own rock crawler.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is their rock crawlers.
They can buy modern ones. These will be these will be out of date in like 2 years.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
There'll be a new version. So, but I've got 2 new motors. I need to replace the one in the red. And I'm going to replace the one in the yellow because, like, it is lacking so much power. Stuff that I've got that water feature in the front yard.
Yeah.
With all those rocks, and we love crawling all over that because it's perfect.
Yeah.
But stuff that I could do last time, the previous time we drove these, I can't do anymore on the yellow one. Like, it is losing a ton of power, and it's not the battery. The batteries are great. So yeah, that needs to be done.
So everything we took to the park the last outing broke.
The yellow one didn't break.
Almost everything.
It's dying.
3 out of the 4 things we took broke when we were at the park.
But it was a good time.
I mean, it's kind of the nature of this hobby. It really is. Like, you will be repairing your stuff if you are using your stuff.
Yep.
So I have a car friend. So I posted some of my pictures of me repairing it, and after it broke my car. Yeah. And he does real car repairs, and he's like, "What are you breaking stuff for?" I'm like, "'Cause I was out having fun."
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Him commenting that.
And so that's the thing is if you're out using it, you're gonna get damage on it. I don't care how good you are; it's going to happen. Now, when you're flying, hopefully it's not every time. That's what I ran into and kind of why I stepped a little bit away from it. But speaking of that, we are going to be adding some new features to this podcast.
Yes.
So look for some of those changes coming in the future. But I will finish my foam glider.
The Flight Test Tiny
Yep.
Trainer.
I will get that finished. I will go take it out. That will be happening.
Yep. We'll make sure of it.
Eventually. Derek and I just need to sit down and do that. But that's on our agenda because as part of some of this switching this up a little bit, for you on the podcast, some of it will be lost. We might do kind of 2 different things so you guys can still stay entertained while watching us do some of these projects. Yeah. We're going to do some of the projects as part of this project that we're doing.
It works pretty well for RC Roundtable. Like do what we do. They do a show and tell sort of thing.
Yeah.
Quite a lot, and they release video and audio. So
yeah, so we're going to be
Works for
doing the
them,
same
so-
thing. So these are some of the new things that we're working on as part of this. So look
Yep.
forward to that. Let's see. What else do we got?
Soar Utah is this year.
Okay. When? Do you know?
No
We'll have something.
they're like the club is still planning it. They're still in the works.
Okay.
But it is happening this summer. I don't know if it'll be like last year where it's a 4-day event, Thursday through Sunday. But if there is a Point of the Mountain Day, hopefully Saturday, I will be there. I will take my Spirit. I will probably take my Mini Gentle Lady. If the Rock Hobby, the multicolored one,
Yeah.
if the Rock Hobby's motor is bad, I will create a 3D printable cap and I will just use it as a slope soarer / high start glider.
Yeah.
And then depending on if I'm able to have the K8B,
You're very.
like that's super ambitious.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need to be a better pilot before I fly that because
I don't
like
know,
I'm
you're-
excited for it, but it scares me.
You're a pretty good pilot.
I'm okay.
I mean,
I need to build
do you
another
need more practice? Yes,
yes.
but that'll come eventually.
What I
but-
need to do is either fix my flight test Cub or finish my flight test P40. Yeah, that's still in pieces. And practice on planes that if they explode, I'm okay.
Yeah, you're out $1.50.
Yeah, exactly.
Or well, $3. But
Yeah. So that's what I need to do. I just need to get in. Like I've got tons of simulator practice. That's not hard.
you
to
just
do.
need to get out there and
real
fly it.
practice. I need real practice.
Yeah, the water tower park is actually a really great place.
Oh yeah, no, I love flying there
Yeah.
because they don't play sports there.
No, because they can't.
Yeah, because there's all those pipes in the way.
Yeah. But
Which
it's
makes
also
flying fun.
yeah, it increases your skill set, but you also get a little bit of slope because
Yeah,
if the
you get
wind
that bit
comes
of
up, you
lift.
get that lift from it.
Yeah.
So if it's coming from the right angle,
Which in the evenings it usually is.
yeah.
So that's where that is. So watch out. Like if you're in Utah, stay tuned. We'll be sure to let you know what the dates are for
Soar Utah.
Soar Utah.
Mm-hmm.
If you end up coming while we're there, be sure to say hi, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna try to. I will. If Derek's going, I will try to make it also, and we'll get out and talk to the people out there. I don't know if I'll be flying,
Yeah, you need AMA. You need your AMA license before you.
but
can.
I will be there
That'll be fun though.
talking and taking cameras,
Taking pictures and video,
taking pictures and videos. I will not be taking cameras because
except for his own.
yeah.
Oh, other project I've been working on.
Oh gosh,
So I've got the Spirit Glider.
I got one more thing to talk about too. So go.
Okay, cool. And I last 2 years ago, I forget when, I bought the Power Pod kit from SIG Manufacturing
Yeah.
for a 2-meter glider, and I've been working on. So I've got the motor for it, as well as the ESC, but I needed a motor mount because the Power Pod is designed for a Cox 049 nitro motor. I'm not using that. I'm using a brushless, and the setup it comes with just comes with 4 screws that you screw the Cox motor straight into the firewall. I can't do that. I need to be able to attach a motor mount to the back of my motor and then mount that to the firewall. So I designed a simple X-brace 3D printed motor mount. Hang on, I got it right here.
I was gonna say, where's it at? I've seen the pictures.
All right, so the basic motor mount I have is just this little PLA plastic X-brace, cross brace thing that I can mount it to. And then because I'm feeling extra and want to,
It's up back there.
I found online a 3D model of the Cox 049 engine. Whee! And I've been modifying it to fit the Race Star brush. So the brushless motor I'm using, it's the Race Star. It's a
Doo-wop-y.
boop boop doop doop. It's the Race Star BR2207S 2200 kV Fire Edition. So I have been modifying this model that I found to fit that.
That looks nice.
So I've got that figured out. I'm making some tweaks because it also, so that's the body of the engine. And then I'm also printing the cylinder and the glow head.
You did this one, huh?
Yeah, I did that one. I did
This
that
is
one
the-
too. I did both of these.
Did you do both of these?
Yeah.
I thought you said you found this one.
No, I found the Cox one.
Oh, okay.
I found the Cox one and
Then
modified it.
it.
Yeah.
It's a good print.
When I'm done, once I have it all nailed down, I will share these files on Thingiverse, and I'll be sure to post links so that if you guys want them, you can.
It's a beautiful print.
Yeah, it printed really nice. I printed another one in a different color PLA, and it didn't turn out as nice. I think because I had it going too fast.
Probably just need to slow it down a little bit.
But it only takes like 3 hours to print, and it uses a very small amount of filament, so it's not a big deal. So that's
Very
what I've
nice.
been working on. I want to get, because I want to be able to fly my Spirit here at the park,
Yeah.
and I can use the high start, but I need a little bit more room.
Yeah.
Like the high start takes up a ton of room.
Yeah. And that park being as
populated as it tends to be.
it's always got people there.
Yeah, so I can't be taking up 600 feet just for my line.
No. And
So-
that's the length of the park anyway, so
Yeah.
a little bit more than 600 feet.
Yeah,
but
I
not
need
much
to
more.
I need to take the high start out to Grantsville, out
Yeah.
to the West Desert.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So-
that's
That's awesome.
that's my other project I've been working on. I've been having fun with my 3D printer, having fun designing stuff. It's been a good time.
I wish I could design. I mean, I'm happy with the one design that I did for my other RC car.
Yeah.
That worked perfect, but I'm not a designer when it comes to that. So the other thing,
Yeah.
my Haas, I got the light kit for it. I've talked
Oh,
about
that's
that.
right.
Well, the one thing I don't like about this light kit is you plug in the battery, the light kit's on.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter if your
ESC.
ESC is on or not. You plug it in, and the lights come on.
Does it plug into the balance lead on the battery?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, it plugs directly to the battery.
Yeah.
Not through the.
Oh,
it's got a
through
clip.
the XT.
Yeah, it's got a clip that you add to it.
That's annoying.
Yeah. So, if you guys remember, I have some wireless switches, essentially.
Yeah.
That I purchased for the other RC car.
Yep.
For its lights. I've hooked it up. I haven't got it completely hooked up, but I plugged it in. And so what I was working on actually today also, after I finished changing my front end drive shaft to the steel and realized that I can't change out my rear drive shaft, I started building my attachment to use my wireless switch.
Nice.
So the only thing I got to do is figure out which line I put it on my
On your receiver.
and then I just got to program it so when I click the button, it will turn them on.
Sweet. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Now, that'll all go through the app that I have because I got the Bluetooth attachment for my transceiver that Traxxas offers.
Yeah.
Which gives you a lot of extra functionality, but you have to then buy like a little bit more components to get the benefit of that functionality. So, but that is, I'm going to be adding that light switch so I can click it and turn on the headlights. So
Sweet.
it'll do both the headlights and the taillights. And so they're not always on.
That'll be good for your battery.
Yeah. It is annoying because, I mean, granted, you're supposed to unplug your battery when you're done anyway, but still, because sometimes you plug in your battery and you're getting things ready before you actually turn your car on.
Yeah, you don't need that constant drain.
I don't need that. I mean, they're LEDs. It's not a huge drain.
But it's an
still.
annoying amount.
It is. It is. And so, that's the last thing that I've got going on. And it will be, hopefully, I'll finish it tomorrow morning before the hobby stores open. And then I'll be running to the hobby stores so I can get my rear drive shaft. Hopefully, they'll have the steel ones. If not, I'll be getting some plastic ones.
Just so you can drive.
Just so I can get out and drive. I want to drive it some more. I might look at, not anytime soon, but I might look at getting another motor so I don't have to replace the pinion gear on it. I can just replace the motor.
Is that easier to switch out?
a little bit easier because you don't have to align the pinion motor, and I can set each one because
Okay.
it's just sliding it on the end of the shaft, right? Getting it lined up. It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of time, and then you want to Loctite that.
Yeah.
So each time you have to take out, clean up the Loctite, put it back in, make sure you. I mean, granted, the motors are going to be expensive. It's not really that little bit of saving time is only if I have extra money to do it.
Yeah.
That way I can throw in a different motor that's already geared for the different speeds. It would take me 10 minutes to change out the motor versus 25 minutes to do the gear.
Yeah.
Because you have to take the motor out to do the gear anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's just little cleanup and stuff like that. And that's only if I get myself some extra money, because otherwise I'm just going to be changing out the gears when I want to change it out. Just was looking for a way to do it a little faster.
That makes sense.
But that's it. In the meantime, nothing else I got on that. I mean, it's been fun. I'm looking forward to actually driving tomorrow.
Nice.
Hopefully I will be able to. But we'll see. We'll see. So,
yeah.
All right.
I think that about does it.
Does that cover us?
Yeah.
Are we done?
Well, we're over an hour. So
And so, yeah.
we're at an hour.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Well, so for you guys at home, share with us what you're working on. We'd love to be able to share your build stories. Like if you send us pictures and what you're working on, we'll share it here for everybody to
Yeah, we'll talk about
be
it.
a part. We'll get everyone involved in this. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So let us know what you're working on. Give us your thoughts on what we're working on.
Yep.
Yeah, we'd love to interact with you guys some more. So
Do we want to finish it like
yeah,
usual?
let's finish it like usual. I think it's on you. Do you remember it?
No,
Do you want me to do it then?
I can do it, but I don't remember it.
I'll do it.
Okay, you do it.
All right. Remember, when flying inverted, up is down and down is expensive. Torque is how hard you hit the ground, and RPM is how hard you hit the ground, and torque is how far you have to dig to get it out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.